Hello, Spider Wayne here. Do you own a 2020 or newer Spyder RT? And if so, are you afflicted with droopy seat shock or droopy trunk shock? If you aren't, you will be. Stick around. Unfortunately, Showchrome puts out the solution. They're relatively inexpensive. You can find these pretty much at any business that sells aftermarket parts and accessories for the Spyder. I got these at Slingmods. And in this video, which is part 2, I will be installing the seat shock. And again, since I'm a retired bean counter, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Okay, so in part 2 to install the seat shock, there's only 2 tools needed. The instructions do say you need a T20 Torx, but on my Spyder, and I think most, no, you need an 8mm socket wrench or socket. You will also need a skinny flat screwdriver, but as long as you can get one. This one's going to be a little tricky because the bottom of the shock is going to be inside the Spyder, a little tricky to get at, where the top will be visible. So we'll see how this one goes. Okay, the first thing we need to do is remove the rear seat. To do that, we lift the rider's seat. There's a couple of release points we press to release the latch. There's 1, 2, and off it comes. Now the instructions do say to disconnect this, but it's not in the way. I'm just going to leave it off to the side here. Okay, next we will be removing the 8mm bolt at the top of the seat shock. That's right there. That's the top of the shock right there. The bottom is inside. That's going to be tricky. It's easier with a screwdriver and socket. We need to save that screw. We will be reusing it. Top needs to come off, and then the seat can just lean back. Okay, I'm going to shine a light down there, but I'm not sure we're going to be able to see a whole lot. I need to move that shock completely out of the way. Okay, so I'm trying to determine if you can see down there. I can see the bottom of the shock. I don't know if it's showing up in the camera, but it's right straight down there. So what we need to do is get a flat screwdriver in down there to release that clip at the bottom. And once we release the clip, it should pop straight off of the ball-headed bolt. So even though this is the shock that came off the trunk, just for illustrative purposes, the shock that's in here is bigger, a little longer, but it's the same concept. It attaches at the top, and then there's a place where the ball snaps into down here. And to release it, we need to get the screwdriver in under this lip here. And if you can see it, I have to release that clip. So we'll give it a go, see if it works. I'll move the camera around the other side. Okay. I got it. Ha ha ha. All right. So now I just have to get it out of there. And there's the old one. So that was pretty much the first try. I was lucky. All right. Okay. So here's the new one. So that ball-headed bolt, it comes out this way. So the ball's facing the front of the Spyder. So that means this hole insert will need to point towards the back of the Spyder, get down in front of the ball, and to snap it in. So I'm going to get it down there and get some leverage on it. Oh, I got it, first try. It's on. So now this top part, I just need to turn it because the screw that we took off will go in this side and attach on the outside of this. All right, I got to bring the camera back around this side. Okay, so here's the top of the shock, the new shock, and we need to slide it onto this plastic tongue. So we've got to bring that down till it lines up, and yeah, it slid right on. So now that should hold that there while I get the screw and screw it back in. It's an 8mm socket. It's an 8mm hex. It's a screw, not a bolt. And the instructions say a T20 Torx, but not on this Spyder. Again, we just make it, nice and snug. Do not over tighten because there's plastic on that side. Just snug. All right. I test it out. Big difference. So it takes a lot to get that to go down. So hopefully I won't have to worry about that for years. All right. So we'll close this up. So I just need to get these two to slide into here and here, and then these will snap in place. Snug as a bug. It's all back together. Okay, so that completes part 2. We have a new seat shock. In part 1, we completed the replacement of the trunk shock. So, I'm happy. And if I can do this, anybody can do this. So if you're still watching, thank you so much. And until next time, please take care.